As the Swansboro High School swim team treads through laps, one high-spirited freshman treads among them. This is Andrew Fevang. In the history of the school, he's the first ever athlete with Down syndrome to make the team. It was quite the emotional day for his family when they heard the news.
They were going to announce the swim team on their website, so I sat there with a tablet at 5 o'clock, and I just kept hitting refresh, 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 and I'm like, one way or the other, I'm going to cry. Either I'm going to be so profoundly disappointed or so crazy proud, because it was just a culmination of years of prepping and planning and moving forward and really getting him to be one with his peers in the high school, and he made it. And I ugly cried, I sobbed. And the whole family cried, and I texted my daughter. She was at her lifeguard job at college, and she's crying on the stand, and it was really amazing.
Andrew found his love for the sport from his older sister, Tara, who's a swimmer herself. At a recent swim meet in New Bern, he competed in 3 events: the 50-meter freestyle, the 200 medley relay, and swam as the anchor of the 200-meter free relay. He's been welcomed onto the Pirates team with open arms.
Andrew has got the motivation. It's incredible. It's absolutely contagious. We love having him around, and his attitude. He may not be as fast as the rest of the swimmers, but that has not kept him from working as hard as he possibly can. And when the other kids look over and they say, geez, if Andrew can do it, so can I. So just about the time you think about, I should quit, Andrew's still swimming, maybe I won't. So it's been very motivational. The kids love having him around. I wasn't sure, this is his first year, I wasn't sure how he'd be received. The kids have been absolutely wonderful. And having Andrew on there has been, a delight.
Andrew doesn't limit his talents to just being a swimmer either. He's a percussionist in the high school band, and he's part of 2 school clubs: photography and United Sports. His incredible journey will look to inspire others that follow him by saying that nothing is truly impossible. He keeps confidently marching on and defying the odds every step of the way.
Tell the world this, Tara. I know you're in there. Please tell the world I did this. And of course, bring all of it down. And of course, here's the muscle right here, and the muscle guy, and all of us are seeing it.
When you have a baby, the world is just infinite. The possibilities are infinite. They could be doctor, lawyer, football player, professional athlete. When you have a baby and they tell you that they have a disability, that world becomes very small, and it's a blow. And it's devastating. But we really believe that he can. And we looked at him, we're like, hey, why can't you? Why can't you play an instrument? Why can't you be in classes with your peers? Why can't you swim like your sister? And nobody gave me a good reason why he can't. So we just kept pushing him and pushing him. So I really hope that when other parents get that news, they're gonna cry for an hour or 2. I did too, but they're gonna get up and be like, you know what? Why can't you? And push their kid too.
Brett Kennedy, News Channel 12.
At Carteret County Speedway, people get to see the entertaining part every Saturday night. But there's so much more than the racing that these teams endure. Countless hours of getting the cars ready, tightening bolts, checking tire pressure, fuel gauges, and so much more. Something that goes underappreciated.
Really, what you don't see behind the scenes is the guys in the shop that, put in countless hours. Out here, you got some of the teams that might have 2 or 3 guys. You might have guys that's got 10 or 12 guys, but they put in hours and hours at the shop, and then when they get here, it might be 100 degrees outside, and they're the heroes.
So we've learned about what it takes to prepare these cars for these races, but what about racing inside one of these speed machines? Well, let's find out, shall we? The Speedway has partnered with Fast Track Driving Experience to give fans a brand new opportunity for the chance of a lifetime.
What we do is just strictly a ride-along program, which is good enough right to start with, because it's going to give you the feel and the excitement of being in a real-life NASCAR. 500 and some horsepower, nothing but raw power. We're big into safety with the fire suits, with the Hans device. We strap you in, and of course, and the rest is history.
It's the only track east of Raleigh that offers this program. $29 for 3 laps, $59 for 5, and $99 for 10 laps. And it's available to anyone of any age, even sports reporters.
We just hope folks come out, take advantage of it, and kind of see what these folks go through, our drivers, week in and week out.
Reporting for News Channel 12, I'm Brett Kennedy.
For the past few years, if you happen to be in the small town of Rose Hill and traveling by the Hit Pit Martial Arts building and happen to look through the windows, you might have seen MMA fighter Jamie Pickett viciously training inside.
He's from some town no one knows about, no one cares about. We don't have stoplights, but I'm from Duplin County. I'm a country boy. I was like, I'm going to show them that there's talent everywhere.
After working his way up fighting for 12 years, Pickett is now taking those small-town roots to the big leagues. After his third appearance on Dana White's Contender Series, the 32-year-old middleweight fighter finally earned a contract to the UFC, accomplishing his dream.
Self-preservation is the strongest instinct in the human animal. Me being a wolf, I took that and I just instilled it in myself to never give up. Self-preservation, just nonstop. I didn't quit. I wasn't gonna stop, and it was just like, I did it. Like, all the hard work I did it.
When he's about to step into the ring, it's like something clicks, and he goes from laughing and wanting to talk to everybody to just, he gets in this zone where he's like, I'm about to tear this dude apart.
Jamie's nickname is the Night Wolf, from his African-American, Native American, and Irish white heritage. At one point, he almost retired after losing his second fight on the Contender Series, but then they called him for one more fight, and he just couldn't say no.
From here, Duplin County, we don't get opportunities like that. So I was like, I'm not gonna say no to this. So I took the fight. I want them to be able to say, like, we have Jamie Pickett. Fayetteville, they can say, we have J. Cole. We have all these rappers and stuff, all these basketball players. Now we have a fighter. We have Jamie Pickett. He comes from here.
Wanting to fight until he's 40, Pickett now awaits his first fight in the UFC, where the Night Wolf from North Carolina will prove himself once more. Reporting for News Channel 12, I'm Brett Kennedy.
I'd like to thank all the schools that recruited me, but at the end of the day, I'll be going to the University of North Carolina.
The decision heard around the nation this past weekend. 6'6" junior from Kinston High School, Dontrez Styles, 4-star athlete, the 57th best player nationally in the 2021 class. More than 30 schools offering him, including just about every ACC contender, committed to the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. The next great Kinston Viking to play in Tar Heel Blue.
All the greats that have been from there, it means a lot, Reggie Bullard, Jerry Stathouse, and just me getting the opportunity to just go there and do what I do, it means a lot. Everybody knows the legacy at UNC, just playing at UNC, man, it's just a blessing.
On Styles' big day, looking back on his incredible journey so far, it couldn't help but bring tears to his eyes and thoughts of a special family member.
Sorry, yeah. You work for it, boy. You work for it, boy. You work for it.
Trez, you get emotional. How much does this game mean to you?
It means a lot, My grandma passed away, so I've been doing it for her.
With college decided, Styles now focuses on his senior year at Kinston. One more chance to bring home a state title. He's grateful for playing under a coach like Perry Tyndall.
It was a great while, I appreciate Coach Tyndall. He did a lot for me, put me on varsity my freshman year, so it means a lot.
Throughout the neighborhoods of Greenville, an elderly gentleman walks alone, waving to every neighbor he meets. This is no other than J.H. Rose superfan Marvin Jarman. Usually he'd be attending all the Rampants baseball games by now, but due to this coronavirus pandemic and the stoppage of sports, Marvin, like everyone else, has had to change up his daily routine.
It's changed tremendously. Marvin likes to go out and see people and socialize with everybody, and now he's having Grant and I to socialize with, which isn't much fun for him. So we pretty much just have our meals here, and he goes out walking in the neighborhood, and he watches Westerns in the afternoon.
How's the new schedule been going, Marvin? Do you like it?
Not too good.
He likes to be around people, but he doesn't need to be around people now. Yeah, it's really affected Marvin a great deal. He's having to stay home, and he can't stand it. He can't go by Rose High and visit all his friends, and he doesn't have ball games because he'd go to the 9th grade game, the JV game, the varsity game. He'd go 5 or 6 nights a week.
But on a positive note, Marvin's daily walks keep him busy and active. Plus, his close friend Ron Vincent, the J.H. Rose baseball coach, picks him up each day to go grab a takeout lunch together. While Marvin would rather be out there cheering on his Rampants from the sideline, he understands the nature of the situation.
He knows, Marvin knows, and But he handles things better than most people. Well, that's the way it is.
The way it is, and now Marvin Jarman patiently waits to get back to the way things were. Brett Kennedy, News Channel 12. Legendary former NASCAR driver Donnie Allison has never lost the burning passion for the sport he loves. At 81 years of age, he still attends races in person and signs autographs and poses for pictures with fans.
I enjoy it. I've done it all my life. I really enjoy it. I'm proud of my boys for what they've done. They've struggled really bad the last couple of years, but I mean, they got the Allison trait. They don't quit.
That Allison family trait helped form one of the most memorable NASCAR groups ever, the Alabama Gang, a group of drivers that operated out of Hueytown, Alabama, started by Donnie and his brother Bobby, followed by the late Davey and Clifford Allison, and others like Neil Bonnet, David Bonnet, and Hut Strickland. The group is still talked about and remembered fondly by the fans today.
I think the reason for that is because it was all made in honest, hard work.
In his NASCAR career, Donnie won Rookie of the Year in 1967, acquired 10 wins in his Cup Series run, and 110 top 10 finishes from 1966 to 1988. He's also in the International Motorsports Hall of Fame. Yet, most people know Donnie Allison from his on-track altercation with Cale Yarborough back in 1979 during the Daytona 500, as the pair both crashed on the final lap, with Allison leading up to that point, giving Richard Petty the win.
And there's a fight between Cale Yarborough and Donnie Allison.
The pair recently had a reunion after not seeing each other for the last decade or so, and posted this pic on social media that soon went viral.
I stopped by his house in South Carolina and saw him. I haven't seen him probably in 12 years or 10 years or whatever it is, and we go down to Florence to race quite often, and he lives 17 miles from the racetrack. And I keep telling Pat, my wife, that I was going to call him. This time I did. And his daughter got on the phone. She had a fit when she found out it was me. And we went out there and saw him.
Now, all these years later, it's water under the bridge between these two legendary drivers.
It was enjoyable. You know, I don't have any qualms now. I mean, that's been a long time ago. And we both know what happened. And we're not going to get into who shot John. But he come driving up on a golf cart. He was down in his shop where he goes every day, and he come driving on a golf cart, and he said to me, "This is the best day I've had, and I don't know when." And it made me feel good, you know, because I was glad to see him as he was to see me.
The Allison trait is don't quit, and that means don't quit on a friendship. Brett Kennedy, News Channel 12. The ACC men's basketball tournament started with such promise here in Greensboro. So many fans packed these stands the past couple of days, but then the scenario that no one thought would happen, happened. The week started with fans piling in to see their favorite teams play. Then, during the second day, the coronavirus epidemic hit. All the major college sports conferences announced no more fan attendance at the tournaments, but that they would still go on as scheduled.
It's the right thing to do. This thing is going in the direction it's headed, and you know, safety and people being here to see it next year, to me, are more important than anything.
Day 3 of the tournament brought uncertainty of what was to come, with games going on in an empty arena.
Everybody's going to be able to hear what you're saying. So, like, when a guy goes to the free throw line, we're going to have to turn into Jim Nance at the Masters, you know. I mean, if you're talking in your normal voice, the benches on the other side will probably be able to hear you. So that's going to be a little bit odd.
Then the final ultimate shock. All conferences announced that the tournaments would be canceled, including the big NCAA Division I championship, in hopes of not spreading the coronavirus, putting an end to one of the most escalating and impactful last couple of days in recent memory.
If our players aren't comfortable in that kind of situation, we don't want them in that kind of situation. So to a minor degree, some of that played into it.
A wild way to end things here in the Gate City. We'll keep you updated on this situation if it progresses. But for now, reporting in Greensboro, Brett Kennedy, News Channel 12.